Hello, and today we're looking at not holding on to what we have. And we're using the story of Jonah to help us do this. Now Jonah was told not to hold on to where he lived, but to move to a place called Nineveh to tell people about God. He didn't want to do this. In fact, he ran away in the other direction and ended up on a ship in a storm. He was thrown off that ship and ended up on being swallowed by a big fish, and we're going to make that fish today. So first thing that you need to do is step one. You need to fold your card in half, and then you need to get your peg. If you've got one of the church craft kits, you will have a peg like this in your craft kit. If not, I'm hoping you'll find one at home.
So what are you doing, Mum?
So we draw across the peg.
Yeah, doing that now.
And then we need to draw one half of a fish.
So the top bit of the fish.
The top bit of the fish. And underneath you need to draw two.
And the fin of the fish.
Thin rectangles you can.
So top
just
of the fish,
like
fin of the fish, and then two rectangles.
Two rectangles.
Good.
Okay, so we need to have our card folded in half, and we're on to step two. We need to cut out the half fish. So by cutting it out with the card folded in half, we're cutting out two half fish. Right, now I'm going to give you two options when I've finished cutting out my fish. There is the option for if you've got sellotape, and the option for if you haven't got sellotape.
I'll be doing the sellotape because I'm not as good as craft as Mum, basically.
And I'll be doing the not sellotape because you don't need sellotape for this. It makes it easier if you have it. You could possibly also use glue.
Also, I like to chop my paper over there.
Okay. I'm nearly finished now. So here, my two half fishes. Because I do not have glue, I'm going to fold them in half. Now you might do this one at a time or both, depending on how thick your card is.
Two, Mum?
No, you don't need to do this bit.
One just sitting
and
there.
Cut two little slits. So this is for if you don't have glue or sellotape at home. Above each rectangle, you need to cut two little slits, just like that. Okay.
Right.
Ready for step three. You need to thread the rectangles through the peg. Let me show you. You do this whichever version you're doing. So you open the peg slightly and push those rectangles through your peg. Now Beth's simply going to take her sellotape and sellotape the rectangles on the back. I'm going to thread my rectangles on the back. So here we go. I'm going to thread it through the bottom slot.
Oh yes, I've got my tape I did earlier. Not that we planned this or anything.
And then through the top. So I've threaded my fish onto my peg, and Beth is sellotaping her fish onto her peg.
That's my first one, Mum.
Well done, Beth. Can you do the other one?
That's better than practice.
Oh, good girl. So there's my first one. And when you've done this step, you just carry on and you do the same with the second half of the fish. This is step 4. Okay, so you just repeat this for step 3, but with the other half of the fish and the other half of the peg. So again, you slot the rectangles through the peg.
So I'm just taping.
Beth will tape her fish onto her peg, and I will thread my rectangles through my little slots to keep my fish onto my peg.
Mum, I've done a design flaw.
That's okay.
I have an opening tail, but that's
because you're next. You've got an opening tail. Okay, this is where you need to be careful. So Beth's shown where concentrating is really important, because
we hadn't made that mistake in practice though.
We didn't make that mistake in practice, but there we go. So
make sure the head is with the
make
opening
sure
bit.
the head is at the opening bit.
So opposite to mine.
Yes. So my fish now opens. Now lastly, we're on to step 5. we need to take a Jonah. So we need to get a pipe cleaner and fold it in half. And we're going to make a circle in the middle of that pipe cleaner for Jonah's head. We're then going to twist to make a neck and fold those two halves in. And we've now got a head and some arms.
And I've got one leg back.
We're then going to twist the tummy together. And I've got one leg slightly longer than the other as well. But that's fine. And then we've got legs and feet. This is my Jonah.
This is my messier Jonah.
And my big fish is now going to swallow my Jonah. That is today's craft.